Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This article that I found very important, and it is about Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, who made some statements, very important statements, and he shows that he is for his country. He works in the name of his nation, culture, traditions, where he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be working for his nation. Here we go. Not like other weasels. This comes from the Insider from July 24th, 2022. Hungary's leader, Führer, in this case, you'll see why, Viktor Orban bashed Western Europeans for, and I'm quoting, mixing with non-Europeans, and said that Hungarians, and I'm quoting again, do not want to become a mixed race. Well, Mr. Orban, you're on the way to be politically, not that they don't try yet, but now they're gonna ramp up their attempts to get rid of you in any way. So then we find out that Viktor Orban bashed the commingling of Europeans with non-Europeans. Orban said on Saturday speech, that Hungarians, quoting, don't want to be a mixed race. Maybe they don't. Their choice, right? My body, my choice. My culture, my choice. My nation, my choice. My traditions, my choice. My religion, my choice. Right? Not Brussels' choice or Washington's choice or whomever else thinks that is the handler of this planet. And now, listen to this word. The authoritarian leader. See, it's going, as I said many times, it starts from little. If you don't do what they want you to do, or you say something against their, okay, they start with little. Leader equals Führer, strongman, authoritarian leader, and then they try to equate you with some bad dudes from our history. So the authoritarian leader regards Putin as an ally and was endorsed by Trump. So regards Putin as an ally. He doesn't regard Putin as an ally. He just makes business with Putin according to the interest of his country and his people, not with the interest of Brussels or anybody else. And he's not an ally. He's an ally because you guys consider him an ally because he's not doing what you want him to do. And whatever someone else is not doing that you want him to do, since you're perfect, that's a bad dude. And then was endorsed by Trump. Trump was an elected US president. I don't understand what the problem is here. All right? I mean, I know what they imply because you have Putin, you have Orban, Putin, Trump. Putin was already, if you go to transitivity, you know, the role of transitivity, logic, you go like this. Orban was equated with Putin and with Trump. And then Putin was equated with Hitler, and Trump was equated with Hitler at times here in the United States by the mass media, and even some politicians call him that way. So that means by transition, this guy is also, because it's a trio that is like together, friends, you know, in a hora, in the csardas, the Hungarian dance. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban said that his country's citizens have no interest in fraternizing with non-Europeans, according to Radio Free Europe. Now, when we were in the other system, when I was in Romania, they used to listen to this. It was illegal to listen to this, and we were all, oh my, we listened to this, and the Voice of America, another station that was banned in Romania by the communists, because they said, well, they spew propaganda and they try to create problems in Romania. And then after I grew a little bit and I started reading meaningful information, and I was hit by certain information, I found who were the sponsors with the money and with personnel of Free Radio Europe and the Voice of America. And you find it, some of them in Washington, D.C., the area over there, you know, like CIA, U.S. Department of State, funds and personnel. Look, check it out. And I said, okay, thank you very much. Because they don't have any interest there for freedom and democracy, we thought. So Orban idealized, like, oh, you know, like fantasized, an unmixed, and I'm quoting, unmixed Hungarian race while speaking at the Băile Tușnad Summer University located in central Romania. He's visiting there, his Hungarian enclave in Romania, on Saturday in Transylvania. He argued that Europeans should not mix with non-Europeans. He's idealizing, so these guys are playing down his, oh my God, it's impossibility, his unicorn. And I'm quoting again, "We move, we work elsewhere, we mix within Europe," he said, "but we don't want to be a mixed race or a multi-ethnic group," he added. Wow, that's a signature and stamp for Orban's dismissals like forever. All right, let's see. Read further. The conservative prime minister, well, conservative, but if you look in his bio, you find out that I think he used some Free Society NGOs funds by George Soros when he went to university or something like that. It's a connection between the Open Society, NGO, whatever it is, Soros funds, and him going over there. So he was a leftist. He was pushed by these guys. And then he just said, oh, you know what? Maybe not. So the conservative prime minister also argued that, and I'm quoting, "the West is split in two," according to Daily News Hungary, split in two. Half, he said, are countries where European and non-European people intermingle. Those, and I'm quoting, "those countries are no longer nations," he said. He did not name any specific nations, but pointed to the Western Europe, per the Daily News Hungary. He also said that the countries where Europeans and non-Europeans intermingle continue to fight Central Europe to change us to be like them, end quote. In a spiritual sense, the West has moved to Central Europe. A lot of people move from Western countries into Hungary, Poland, you know, the Visegrad 4 states, Czech Republic, Slovakia, some for certain reasons. Orban, who was re-elected for a 4th term by his people in a democratic vote, yes, right, in April, is an ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin and was endorsed by former President Donald Trump. He's not an ally. He just does what he's an ally because he wants gas, he wants oil, he wants to do business with everybody, and he doesn't listen to what the other guys are telling him to do, because the other guys know what's best for Hungary, and Hungary is just a lost child, poor little baby. Yeah, okay. He has been praised by some American conservatives, but is considered an authoritarian nationalist who is vocally anti-immigrant. Considered by some, and some is considered something else. But see how this person did not mention that. He is praised by some American conservatives, so by small number of cuckoos, that's implied, but is considered an authoritarian nationalist who is vocally immigrant. So the rest considered him them. You see how they make it? The rest, some conservatives like this say that he's a good guy, but the rest says he's an authoritarian leader. How is he an authoritarian leader? He was voted in. Retards. All right. Throughout his speech on Saturday, Orban also touched on Russia's war against Ukraine and the role he believes the US should have, the Daily Mail reported. And I'm quoting, "A new strategy is needed which should focus peace talks and drafting a good peace proposal instead of winning the war," he said, adding, "as Russia wants security guarantees, this war can be ended only with peace talks between Russia and America." I don't see anything that is incorrect over there from whatever he says. Orban, the Hungarian office of Prime Minister, did not immediately respond to the insider's request for comment. Well, so Viktor Orban, he said things that many people in his country believe in. I didn't have an opinion poll, but I speak with people, and of course it's when they tell you here, we are all working as hard, we're all as good as anybody else. But that's not true. When you go to work and you intermingle, you find out that it's a pattern in certain people. It's a pattern in certain areas, certain groups. And then you figure out, hey, I've been told all my life that there's no difference between this and this kind of traits. How in my direct experience, how did they get it? How did they get that idea when in my direct experience I have this, and this conclusion opposes what they told me? It's like they tell you the snake is not, this snake is not, let's say the viper is not venomous snake. Oh, it's not. And you go around in your life and you see people that were bitten by vipers and they die. And you think, how is this possible? And you know, which one? And how did they get the truth? And how in the hell I, through direct experience, in front of me, don't get the truth? So then you start questioning things. So the same here with this, with intermingling and all that. They tell us diversity is our strength. They decree that. What kind of diversity? Of thought? I don't think that's a strength for you guys up there. Why is it a strength? Imagine you have in a room 5 people speaking 5 languages and they have to build a house. Is that a strength? Let's say you have five people determining to create a country, but they have different values. Is it a strength? 5 people in a room trying to create a country and a society, and they have different values. How do you think they're going to go about it? Some people believe in a king, some people believe in a democracy, some people believe in authoritarian regimes, some people dictators, some people criminals. How are we going to do about it? Unless you think that we all think the same, and then there's no diversity anymore if we think the same. So where is the diversity here? How could be let's say diversity when you don't understand one another, when you have different things? Look at Yugoslavia, how diverse it was and how great it worked. Look at other countries, that Czechoslovakia split in 2. Too much diversity, I guess, over there. United States it's getting there. It's going to get there. I have no doubt. And Canada the same way. United States is an experiment, social experiment, fantastic. It started as a fantastic experiment, fantastic. But with the way these guys are trying to drag it, it's going to go to a Yugoslavia. It's going to go to a Czechoslovakia. People will do something, will separate. You'll see that. Look at the church attendance. Look at shows attendance. Look in schools. When you go in a school and you look at let's say how do you call that? Where people eat? I can't remember. Oh my God, English language here. I'm assuming dining halls or something. When you go over there in dining halls and you see people, they segregate themselves. And I'm not going to go in the churches as well and so on, even though they can't, they are given the opportunity to not to do so. Are those all bad or something? According to the ideology, yes. Ideology based on what? So Viktor Orban and his nation can choose whatever they want regarding the outcome of their nation and culture, and they will. And they will. And they made all kind of polls, opinion polls and surveys regarding this kind of values, and they're very clear what direction they make. The same, I would like here to have a referendum on certain things that are imposed on us, like values. I want to have it and see how many people would really vote. Given the vote will be, you know what I mean, free and free. Open or unskewed. That's the word I would say. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. I think Orban is really got the attention, and we'll see how he's going to be called worse names that he was already. They give you the freedom to choose, but they tell you what to choose. They give you the limitations, and once you go a little bit this way, you're not a good person, because then what do you mean? But they equate that with immediately with get this guy next to, I don't know, eugenics. They're gonna get this guy to Hitler. Gonna get this guy to Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche. They're gonna get to all kinds of things, and it's gonna go like, oh my God, see, from here straight to the concentration camps. That's how these guys are arguing, and then they will try to make this guy responsible for something he did not do, but oh, some people might have done or did it or whatever. It's like saying, okay, nobody should practice Christianity anymore, because look how many crimes and destruction was done in the name of that scripture. So we should ban the scripture and Christianity for that reason. But they can't touch that yet. They're trying. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart. Look for the truth and be just.